Alrighty, we're going to be installing a RV outlet outdoors, and it is on a GFI breaker, which is in the cellar already in the panel. But we're going to hook up our outlet, which is outdoors. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps, 10 American wire gauge on 30 amps for both 110, 120, and 220, 240. And this happens to be a 30 amp circuit, so we have a 30 amp GFI in the breaker that looks like breaker box that looks like this. And I will show you the devices we're going to be installing. This is the outside cover we're going to be installing. This is the receptacle type we're going to be installing. Okay, so first we'll start with taking the cover off our box here. The wire was ran for this earlier, and they just didn't get the outlet to put in, so we're going to put it on today. So we have our 3 wires here. This is 110, 120 volt, so our black is live, our white is neutral, and our bare wire is our ground. So we're going to straighten our ends out here, so when we hook our outlet up, our wires go in nicely. So I'm trying to find out which one is the live and which one is the neutral. Okay, it will say white here, so that's going to be your neutral. This is your ground, and this is your live. See the little L there? So we're going to check our wires, make sure they're the right strip length here. And we want to make sure we don't get our insulation caught under our pressure terminal. So it's a little long, so we're going to cut just a little bit off here. So we'll just cut a little off like this. Put our black in like that, and see how our insulation just gets down close to the pressure plate, and we'll just tighten it up. Make sure it's nice and tight. And we'll come over here and we'll put our white in this under the silver colored terminal here. So we'll loosen up our terminal here. And we're going to see if it's too long. Okay, so the white is just the right length there, so we'll tighten this up. Make sure it goes, well, hold it in, make sure it goes in all the way. Okay, see that copper there? That's slightly long, so we'll shorten that up just a little bit. Not a lot, just a very little, like a 1/16 of an inch. Make sure it's straight. We'll take just a tiny smidgen off. And we'll put our white wire under our silver terminal there, and our insulation just goes down to the top of the pressure plate, as you can see there. See how it just, make sure it's in all the way. And see our insulation is just down to the top of our pressure plate. That's what we want. Now we have our ground terminal, which is down here, and our ground wire is not insulated, so we just loosen up our terminal here. Stick our wire under the terminal like this. Make sure it's in all the way, and we'll just tighten it up. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now we'll just go over our terminals to make sure they're tight. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we'll get ready to put our outlet into our box. So this box is universal. It has the switch fitting here. It has the outlet fitting in it already. And see this circle in here? We're going to break this out here on both sides for this type of outlet. So we're going to get our device to go into our box here. And we're going to make sure our screws don't hit the wires here. Okay, our white wire is down all the way and our black is out of the way. So now we can take our needle nose pliers and we'll break this piece out. You have to break it along this line here. See that line there? We got to break it around that line. So maybe we'll try cutting here with our cutter, see if we can cut it. Okay, we'll break it out in little pieces like this. Well, okay, that side broke out okay. Now we'll come over here. Oh, okay, so that all broke out the way we wanted it to. Now this has the bayonet mount on the back here, so you just put your 2 screws in like this. Oop, that's not the right size screw, so we're not going to get upset. We're not going to get all frustrated. We're going to try these. Here's the screws that come with it. Those must have been 832s, and these are 632s. There, these are the right size. And we'll screw these screws in. And we'll use our bayonet mount here to put it over, put our cover on. We'll just turn it a little bit like that. Get it in over the screw head and we'll just twist it like that. And we'll just simply tighten it to the wall here. And we'll just tighten it up. See how our gasket's going to get flush against our box and tighten up nice and tight here. And maybe off camera we'll add a little silicone to this just to give it a little extra protection. 1, 2. There we go. So we are all set. Alrighty, so that is how to wire a 110, 120 volt RV receptacle circuit outlet here in the country I was born in. The black is live, the white is neutral, and the bare wire is the ground in this case. I will show you the materials and the specs. Peace. Thanks for watching. This is the GFI breaker that's in the box, but a 30 amp rather than a 20 amp. But it looks just like this. But we can't get to the seller to turn it on. They have the key to the seller, so they will turn it on later. There's the information on our outdoor weatherproof cover we put on it. You can pause the video to read the instructions.